building your business through your brand. This is one of the classes I'm super passionate about teaching because this is exactly how I built my business. If you guys haven't met me yet, my name is Kate. I'm the team leader at the East Side. Just raise up hands. Who's in bold right now? Okay, good amount. So we're going to touch on a couple of things that we've already talked about in bold and just dive a little bit deeper. So it'll be really on brand for what you're already doing for your homework as well. And then if you're not in bold, this can be brand new information, super exciting, really easy to take away and do it today. So a little background of my business and how kind of this became, right? So I got licensed when I was 19 years old. It was on spring break in my senior year in college. And when I graduated, got my license, picked my brokerage, I want to say I like maybe had $5 in my bank account. So buying leads or putting money into lead generation was not an option. So the one thing I was really good at was talking to my friends. And the one thing I was also really good at was taking pictures and posting them on Instagram. So I decided to build an entire lead generation business based on Facebook and Instagram. And we're going to talk about like the various platforms you could use today once we get into different parts of the presentation. But I always like to say, for me, this is how I built my business. You're going to tailor it how you want to build your business and your ideal customer. I still truly believe to this day, like of social media platforms, Facebook is just king. Like that's where you're going to convert the most leads possible. And then Instagram for me was very close second. And we're going to talk about that again, like I mentioned, but just for the purposes of this class, know that I'm usually talking about Facebook in Instagram. And then the only other thing I like to say before we get started is I really want to challenge you at the beginning of this class to really kind of shift your mindset. If you've been in the social media space, which I can guarantee we all are on Facebook or Instagram or something like it, and we're using it for personal use every single day. For this class, I need you to take like the hat off of like, I use Facebook for this, or I use Instagram for this, and put on a cap of like, I am a business owner, and this is a source of lead generation for my business. And I think you'll get a lot more out of the class if we shift our mindset that way. So what we're going to do in the class today, we're going to do a brand breakout. Shout out to Carrie for putting the really cute little notes in front of you. If you don't have a notebook, we're going to be doing some hands-on exercises. We're going to do a social media breakout, and then we're going to do an events breakout if time allows too. So to dive in, I also last preface, and then we'll actually dive in. So I really like this class to be interactive. I'm going to call on you. I'm going to ask people to read. I don't want to talk the entire time. It's much more impactful if we can be in conversation rather than presentation. If you're okay with that, say, I'm okay with that. Awesome. Wow. That was so much better than I thought it was going to be. Okay. So brand. The first question I want you to ask yourself is, does your brand attract top talent? Now, what that means for you as a realtor is, are you attracting a seller to call you? If you're a buyer's agent, are you attracting buyers to call you? If you're a realtor at Keller Williams, are you attracting other agents to join your downline? Is your brand attracting top talent? For Bernsey and myself, that means, are we attracting top talent to bring to the market center? So the first question that you want to ask yourself is, what is my brand, right? So Bernsey, hit me with the first left side of bullet points.
Marketing, advertising, logo, and value.
And then Jade, can you do the other side? So many times when I teach this class, like brand just means logo to so many realtors. And it really means so much more than that. So the marketing behind your brand. So does the brand that you have as a realtor, does it coincide with the marketing that you're putting out on Instagram and social media? And bold, the new bold law or bold saying is, does your video match your audio? Are you, the way you walk and the way you walk and talk, are those in alignment? The second is advertising. How are you advertising your brand so that not just you know what your brand is, right? Like, how does your neighbor know what Marty's brand is? How does your girlfriend in the book club know what Morgan's brand is for her business? Your logo. As little as it sounds, this is super important, right? We see so many logos in our day-to-day lives. We see Coca-Cola, we see Apple, we see Starbucks, we see McDonald's, the Golden Arches. Like my 4-year-old knows what McDonald's is. And that's honestly crazy. Like, how are you making sure that your logo is recognizable enough that when someone looks at it or someone sees it on social media, they know it's you? Your value. How are you coming to an appointment giving value different than what Polly is giving? If me, Brooke, is going into a listing appointment or a buyer's, consultation, what is the value of her brand and how is it aligning with her customer? Trust. I don't know about you, but like I 100% trust and believe if I go to Apple, my laptop is going to get fixed or they're going to replace it. Like, how does a customer know that you are going to handle any problem that they have with ease? And they're probably not even going to have a problem to begin with. Like, how are you portraying that? The strategy. This really goes in alignment, in my opinion, with social media very heavily. So what's your strategy to make sure as many people possible see your brand at any given moment? Your identity. I personally feel like this goes along with value a lot. And it's the same conversation as how is Bernsey going to show up as a realtor and make it so that his identity and his brand are so well known that his ideal customer just calls him. And then the design. So like Polly said, like I've been in the marketing game too, since before marketing was a fun thing to talk about. And then the design behind it is super important. How many people do you see, or I'm going to ask for permission. Are we allowed to be honest in this class? Okay,
Yeah.
great. So how many people do we see on any given week just post screenshots of flyers of open houses or screen grabs of sold, just listed, sold, just listed, sold, just listed? So the design behind your brand, what does that look like? And if someone only sees those things on your social media, what does that look like for you? So that's kind of what we're going to dive deep into today. Who likes to read? Morgan, I know you like to read.
More than just words, defines your purpose and how you work together. It keeps you uniform in everything you do, recruiting and showing up in your community and in day activities. Provide inspiration as you ride your business forward.
Perfect. Thank you. So this part of the class, I always like to ask a question. So who's been in the business at least 2-3 years? Okay. So you've most likely all been under contract on a home when you got to the ROC portion of the deal, right? Okay. So the removal of the contingency. So I have a question. Who wants to be my volunteer? Brooke, thank you. Just because I was looking at you. Yeah. Okay, so
She's gonna pick you anyway.
have you ever gotten to the removal of contingencies portion of the contract where the buyer and the seller didn't agree?
For sure.
Awesome. So what are your first thoughts when that happens? So let's say you're representing the buyer and the seller's like, absolutely not. That's asinine. I'm not doing that. Like,
Yeah.
what's your first thought?
The seller is saying absolutely not to what we asked.
Correct.
Basically, I'll go back to the buyer and I'll just talk them through, okay, this is the situation. This is what the seller is saying. How can we find a mutually beneficial situation where you're both winning? What certain items do you absolutely have to have done versus what items are you maybe okay with not doing right now?
I love that. It's almost like you're a paid actor, because what I was going to say after that is
Maybe I
actually
was.
yeah. She's just like, don't. So actually what Brooke just told us is that her brand is she's a win-win or no deal realtor. And that means a lot more going to a buyer or a seller than saying like, I've done 25 deals and like, I can help you. It means a lot more going to them saying like, I will negotiate a win-win deal for you, or we will not move forward with the property. That makes the consumer feel a lot different than just saying, I do this all the time. I've done it for 35 years and we'll be fine. So is there anything else someone thinks of when they're in an ROC situation and nothing is going correctly? Win-win is usually the most common I hear, but sometimes I hear other really good answers. Anyone else? Another popular answer that I hear all the time is like, I'll protect my client, right? So it's just like, I'll educate them and then give them the best options to move forward. And again, that's a lot more powerful going to a buyer or a seller and saying like, I have a fiduciary responsibility to you to protect you and your investment, than just saying like, I'll answer any questions that you have at any time. Those are different things, right? And so telling your brand story is actually more important than you think it is. Because being a win-win or no deal agent helps you make decisions in your business that you otherwise wouldn't if you didn't understand what you stand for. So this is Cross Country Mortgage's vision, mission, and values. I always like to use one of our partners, vision, mission, and value. Ooh. Vision, mission, and values, because they're really similar to ours. So we're not going to read the entire thing, but one of my most favorite parts of this part of the exercise is the vision, right? And so their vision at Cross Country Mortgage is to be the most referred mortgage lender in every community that they serve. So again, thinking about your own business, if you don't have a mission for your personal business or a vision or values, that's okay, because you're actually a part of a really incredible company here at Keller Williams that has that. And you can ideate around what that looks like for your business or just use theirs. And again, this is a lot more powerful going into a listing appointment, going into a buyer consult, posting on social media, making a marketing campaign with saying things like I'm Polly and my number one goal is to become the most referred lender in the communities I serve because I care about Shaker Heights. It's a lot more powerful than just saying like, I sell a lot of houses. Do we feel the difference in that? As a consumer, we obviously cling to brands and companies that have something like this as like a pillar in their marketing, right? Like every company that we use on a daily basis has this. They're just putting it out in different ways. And most of the times we come back to them because their brand is in alignment with their vision and their mission. So the mission is to make every mortgage feel like a win for their client. You can use the exact same thing for you. So like Jade's mission is to make every single transaction feel like a massive win for her customers, her clients, right? So those are more powerful things to say than just like, I have a goal of helping 50 families. Like, what does that actually mean for the consumer? And then the values, I personally feel like this is super important. And again, you can use Keller Williams values. You can kind of coincide with Cross Country Mortgage's values. But my one favorite thing that they have is embrace the community and it will embrace you. So again, like I'm going to use the words powerful a lot because I think it's really important to put this hat on as we start to think about what we have as our personal brand. Like embracing the community and it will embrace you. Where do you guys like to sell real estate? It's funny because you probably all sell real estate in the exact same area, right? Oh, sorry, Bernstein. so yeah, your neighborhood, the east side, like Cleveland, like we all sell real estate, east side, Cleveland, your neighborhood. So embracing those people and making sure they are aware of your brand is going to do 10 times more for your business than literally anything else, right? So 6 steps to creating your brand. I'm going to talk about what I did, and we're going to go through the bullet pointed format. Lindsay, can you read my bullet points for me?
Yeah, research target audience is number 1. 2, pick your focus and personality. 3, choose your name. 4, choose the look of the brand. 5, create logo. And 6, apply your brand across your business.
Love that. Thank you so much. So again, when I consult realtors on their brand, the first thing everyone wants to talk about is number 5. Like, I want my logo to have an anchor in it. I'm like, okay, whoa, like, calm down. Like, I'm like, okay, who are you marketing to? And they're like, oh my gosh, I love to market to my school. And I'm like, oh, is your school like the Anchorman? And they're like, no, what? And I'm like, oh, what? And like, everybody gets super confused, right? So everyone wants to jump to the fun part of the brand before doing the actual work to understand how their brand is going to be impactful on their chosen customer. So researching that target audience. I was 19 when I got licensed. I lived in the West Side. I lived in Ohio City. All I cared about was the city of Cleveland. I left to go to Bowling Green. I came back and I was like, holy crap, Cleveland's cool. Like, I did not realize how cool the city of Cleveland was. And it truly like became part of my personality to like convince other people that Cleveland is cool. Like, still to this day, my friends will like literally make fun of me and be like, Cleveland's magic. I'm like, it is. But so research your target audience. I was 19. I lived in Ohio City. My number one customer was young women purchasing their first home, predominantly in the city of Cleveland. So all of my marketing, all of my values, all of my mission, all went to servicing my target customer. Pick your focus and your personality. I was really, really interested in teaching other people my age how to build wealth through owning real estate. My personality and my voice was, Cleveland is amazing and you can become a millionaire by doing nothing but purchasing houses in Cleveland. That's literally all I talked about. I was a young woman in business, and it was really, really inspiring for me to see how many. Does anybody know how many women-owned businesses open in Cleveland every single year? Hundreds. Like last year in 2024, we had 398 women-owned businesses open in Cleveland. I personally think that that's incredible, and I leaned into that very heavily. So I talked about the city of Cleveland, why it's the single best place to buy real estate. I talked about building wealth for millennials in home ownership. And then I talked about women in business. And that's literally all I ever talked about. And I didn't say, you know, like, go women, girl gang, right? So like I would go to a women-owned business. My favorite partnership that I ever did was with Emily Roggenberg. She is an incredible Cleveland-based artist. Her like claim to fame was she rented a helicopter during the Cavs parade in 2016 and took overhead pictures. You've probably seen them; they're incredible. And she had these like super cute little Cleveland balloons. And it's like gold Cleveland balloons, and then the parade. And so that was her claim to fame. She was selling these prints, and all of a sudden, she started making T-shirts. She started making clothes. She had a mental health collection. She had a women's collection, and all of a sudden, she really took off. And now all of the Browns and like the Browns' wives, they all wear her swag, and it's super cool. And she's a millionaire because she opened a business in Cleveland. And so for me, I went to Emily. I said, okay, what's your like number one bestseller? At the time in 2016, it was a shirt that said Cleveland AF, which I told my mom meant like absolutely fantastic. So we still think that. And so I was like, okay, I want to partner with you. Like, how do I do it? And she was like, I have the best idea. You are going to be Cleveland Realtor AF, and we're going to sell these shirts together. And I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. So for a year, 6 years, every single post that I posted had the hashtag Cleveland Realtor AF. You could click it, and it only went to me. How many times have you clicked on a sold hashtag and it went to like eggs from like the farm down the street? You're like, wait a second, I sell houses, right? So like getting super clear on what your brand is and who can help you get it further. You want to find an accelerator and help you take your brand and show it to as many people as possible. So whatever those 3 things you're doing, and we're going to do an exercise where you actually write these down, but start thinking about it. What are 3 things that you like outside of selling real estate? Mine was the city of Cleveland. You don't have to love Cleveland. Probably should if you sell it, but you don't have to. Your one thing could be, I've had people do this exercise with me, and they're like, you know what? Like, I love gardening. I'm like, perfect. Like, we actually sell houses that have grass and flowers, so we can like do something with this. So I've had people say like, I'm obsessed with cooking. I've had people say I'm obsessed with working out. I've had people say I'm obsessed with cars. Like whatever that passion is outside of real estate, like really think about it. And then we'll do an exercise around it. And then think of 2 other things, right? Like if it's your church, if it's your family, if it's self-care, like whatever it is, if you have another business, like think about 3 things that you like outside of real estate, and all of this will get much, much easier. The look of your brand, right? So again, now that we know our target audience, I was selling to 20 to 30-year-old women mostly. So my brand was pretty feminine. I was not marketing to like a 60-year-old man in Bath, Ohio. Like just understanding your target audience and who's going to likely use you based on who you are, market around them. Pick your brand around that. Create your logo, right? Now, thank God we have the Leverage Center. We have Tori. She can help you with those kind of things, but also like Canva, like free, Pinterest, like get some inspiration, just poke around. All of those kind of resources now are so easily accessible in comparison to when I started. And then apply your branding across your business. Nothing drives me more crazy as a marketing brain person than when you send me an email and your email signature doesn't look like the logo that was on your paperwork. Like if you have like an old logo from like Word that you made in like 1989, and I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so for example, like Cross Country Mortgage just did an amazing rebrand. They took this old logo that was blue and green, which I honestly liked, but it was blue and green and kind of chunky looking. And all they did is modernize it. It's now black and white, and it's really clean. Everything looks very Apple-esque, and nothing drives me more crazy than when loan officers will call us or loan officers will text us and it's the old logo. And I'm like, bro, come on. So make sure you apply it to all parts of your business, your listing presentation, your buyer's consult, your folders, your logo on your business cards, your logo on your social media posts. It needs to be cohesive. because nothing makes us look less professional than when we don't have it together. Your turn.
Can I ask a question
yeah.
about number one?
Yeah.
Go back a slide. So like research your target audience. So like I have my target audience, right? It's like dads aged 35 to 50.
We love it.
And like we all really like surprised.
Yeah.
So like my question is like, how do I figure out what they're like, short of just asking, like calling all my past clients and just
Yeah.
asking them, and maybe that's the answer. Like, just I want to figure out what they're looking for. Like, what's the most important thing to them in a real estate transaction or a relationship with a real estate agent? Like,
Yeah,
outside of just calling them and or taking them out to coffee, like, what's a great way to
for
do that
sure.
efficiently?
So the answer is twofold. So I'm gonna start with like the answer you don't care about, and then I'm gonna actually answer your question. If you worked at Keller Williams for a long time, like one of our principles is we lead with profit. Like I'm not suggesting that you have a target audience, and if someone outside your target audience comes to you for a listing, that you don't take it. Like we're taking all of these sales. I'm just saying that when you do market to your target audience, a lot of this gets easier. Your listing appointments get easier, your buyer's consults get easier because it's natural, because it's authentic. So eventually we're going to have a target-based audience business where we don't have to take listings from not a 30 to a 55-year-old dad.
Yeah.
So the answer you actually want to hear is it's really great that you're a dad. So what would you like in a real estate transaction? And that's what you're going to do. And it's a really good thing that Jake Lozier is a dad. And it's a really great thing that everybody else in Keller Williams is a 30 to a 55, not everybody, but we have those here in this company. Call them and pick their brain. Be like, hey, I am building this business where like I'm really dialing into, you know what, like Jake, you're actually my ideal customer. I know that sounds crazy, but Jake, you're actually my ideal customer. Can you tell me 3 things that you're looking for in a real estate transaction and then apply it? I definitely wouldn't call your past clients. I would call people in your network because that's like one of the biggest pieces of culture at Keller Williams is we're actually here to help everyone win. So I would dial in one, you are your ideal customer also. Like, what would you be looking for? Because it's not what my ideal customer was looking for. My 20 to 30-year-old female is not going to want the same things that you and Jake are looking for in a transaction. My people never wanted to talk on the phone and they wanted me to text them only things that were relevant to them. And then they also like maybe wanted to grab coffee. You guys are not going to have that same experience. So think about what you like. That's in the beauty of realizing your target audience is someone somewhat like yourself. The beauty of that is you already know that the answer to the question. It's like more difficult for us to step out of our authentic self and try to be a chameleon. For me, like a 65-year-old selling a $700,000 property, really hard to communicate with that person because it wasn't natural to me. I'm going to take the listing appointment and it's just a lot easier to work with your target audience.
I guess maybe playing devil's advocate a little bit,
Yeah.
mixing this with what we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
where It's like, don't overthink it, just post, I'm worried that I'm gonna get caught up on, is this my brand? Is this my, is this, am I
For sure.
doing this right? And then not post?
Yeah.
Would you say, first and foremost, just make sure you get stuff out there?
1 trillion%.
Okay.
So we're going to get to that on the social media part. And I always relate I always relate this back to working out, right? Like I am newer back into the working out world, even though I was like a literal collegiate athlete, like I know what to do. And yet I'm still really self-conscious going back into the gym. So I feel the exact same way. Like I'm still going to go to the gym and I'm still going to show up and it's not going to be perfect to start. And in 6 months from now, I'm going to know exactly what to do. Same thing with the social media. Like the easy part about it right now is like, I completely hear you when you say like, is this my brand? Is it not my brand? The beauty of doing it this way is it's yourself. So you really can't mess it up. Like the reason you'll be like, is this my brand? Is this not my brand? Is because we're acting as like our inauthentic self of like, I need to post about, like, I know your business is completely SOI. So like it's inauthentic for you to talk to anybody outside your SOI. Like that's when you're going to be like, I have analysis paralysis and I can't figure it out. Like just come as Jake.
Right.
So I understand and I hear you. And like the biggest thing to do is just to get started. It's like exercising your brand is the same as exercising your body. Like it's going to feel more natural over time.
Thank you.
So your turn, like take the paper and I want you to literally just for 30 seconds, bullet point things that you like. Like bullet point things you like, cooking, reading. I don't know, what do people do these days? I was just talking to Julia the other day. I was like, I have 0 hobbies. I don't know what I do. Yeah, like Cleveland sports. Like, what do you like? Like, do you like to entertain? Do you like to host? Do you like to do pottery? Like, what's like a someday hobby that you're interested in? Do you like to go to the country club? Do you like to boat? Do you like to golf? Do you like to like rot on the couch and watch movies? Like, what do you like? Like, just 30 seconds of just like literally brain dumping. Oh my gosh, I know it's I like know it's a problem because now like my almost 4-year-old will wake up and she'll be like, "Did you get to rot today?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, we gotta get out of the house." Yeah, do we get to rot? I'm like, "Oh god, stop."
Sometimes you just need it though.
A rot day? I love a rot day.
Slipper days.
Yeah, see that's classier than rot.
Not as the young person's version of roads.
Yeah, I like
We don't love roads, no.
Oh, I'm wearing like a torn
Yeah.
t-shirt. I'm like,
For
yeah,
sure.
right. Yeah. Okay, so that was probably more than 30 seconds. I want to hear like just popcorn some things that we wrote down.
I will.
Yeah,
Dogs, cooking, antiquities, detective shows, design.
love. Okay.
Being a mom, soon to be a nonna.
Love
Singing
that.
and singing in the church choir. Enjoy Cleveland sports, mostly baseball.
Unfortunately,
I'm a baseball person.
love that.
And gambling.
Gambling. Okay, come on. Give me one other person.
Because
Oh,
the thrill and possibility of winning. And the thrill and possibility of sharing.
oh, I like that. I like that. We always have this like around the campfire, like kind of conversation with my family. Like if we did win, like how would we spend the money? That's like a fun conversation to have. It's fun too because it evolves so much. Like as a new mom versus like now seasoned mom, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna just get a nanny. Just kidding. Okay, one more person. Brooke, yeah, sure.
I love home design.
Mm,
That's one of my, if I could go back to school, I'd go for design, but so like I could do stuff around that, or even my husband's getting into woodworking
so fun.
and I kind of think that'd be fun too.
Love that. I saw one more hand, so let's do it. Yes.
Working out one day is gonna work out for me, but.
You and me both. You and me both.
Cleveland Browns forever, me and Marty. Spending time, being being a bum on the couch at a movie marathon.
See? Right.
And going to see jazz.
I love that. Okay, so the most powerful part of this exercise is not one single person's answers were the same, right? So the one I remember from Polly is dogs. So here's just one example of how you can take something that you love, turn it into a brand, and then have it work for your business. So I unfortunately also am a diehard Cleveland sports fan. I've never had animals until I got my first dog. We loved him. It was King James. And then the next day, LeBron announced he was going to LA. Awesome. So King James.
fault then.
It's my fault. And then we got a second one in Newfoundland named Baker. And then he left, so it's all me. And so I'm obsessed with Cleveland sports, and I was obsessed with my dogs. They were my first 2 dogs ever. And what do like obsessed dog moms do? Take the dogs everywhere. I got them pup cups. I walked them. We were at the dog park, and all of a sudden I was like, dang, like, I do so much with my dog, and I'm spending so much time with my dog, and like I need to capitalize on this somehow. So all I did was invite all my neighbors with dogs to walk their dogs with me. Literally all we did was walk our dogs from like 6 p.m. to like 6:45. We did a neighborhood walk. And like nobody asked, like, are you doing this because you're a realtor? Like not one single person asked me that. And yet, like it came up. They'd be like, oh, like what do you do for work? And I'm like, oh, it's so funny. See that listing? Mine. Like I'm a realtor. And they're like, oh, so cool, so cool. And so it started with like 6 people. in like 2 years, we had like 28 people that went on these dog walks with us. And then on the weekends, some of us would meet up at the dog park. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, it's Merry Christmas. I got all of the dogs in the group a bandana. And it just so happened to have a real estate logo on it, right? And it's like all of a sudden we had like a dog party. I actually threw my dog a birthday party, and I'm not afraid to admit it. And like all the little giveaways were like cute things with my real estate logo on it. And all of a sudden you saw these dogs with pop-up bowls and balls and bandanas. And it happened on accident because it's just something that I was doing anyway that I really love to do. So think of it that way with something that you love to do. I don't know that I would invite people to gamble with me, and like we might be able to work around that because I had someone else in the class say like, all I like to do is go to the country club and like have a lunch beer. And I was like, okay, we can capitalize on that. And then all of a sudden, everyone at the country club was walking around with koozies with their real estate logo on it. All of a sudden, they had lighters with their real estate logo on it for people that smoke. Like all of a sudden, like everyone at the country club was like, oh my God, that person. And they sold a lot of real estate. So thinking of something you actually really like to do and be authentic with it. Don't go in with the intent to get business. Just do something that you really like to do and it will come. Okay. Social media. This is everybody's favorite part. Before we actually dive into the social media, can we do like a couple quick ahas around branding, what maybe we haven't been doing in our business, something that we're going to start doing, something we hadn't thought about? One common question I get at this point is usually like, well, I joined Keller Williams because of the Keller Williams brand. Like, I don't actually get why, like, I have to have my own brand. Does anyone in this room feel that way? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, at that time, I usually remind them, like, Keller Williams is an incredible brand and you're a 1099 business owner. So unfortunately, if all it took was being in alignment with a great brand, you'd probably be a millionaire. But I don't know that anybody is getting a lot of business only because they're at Keller Williams. Is that anyone's experience here? No. So you're your own business owner through Keller Williams. So your brand should somewhat be in alignment with the brokerage that you choose. That's why we here at Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan create millionaires and keep millionaires, and other brokerages don't. And what does your brand look like that it can live in this kind of environment? So any kind of ahas.
I have an aha. So I'm looking at my 5 things on my list, and I feel I need to hone it down to 2 to actually maybe take control of 2. And I'm gonna look at my top 2 favorites. And I know with dogs, like I give away I literally donate money with every deal that I close. And I always tell my clients, even if you're not an animal lover, just know that when we close this, that you're going to be paying someone's vet bill. We're going to be giving to a very fine rescue, and I actually give that.
That's
So I think I need to like be in the rescue, not with me giving money or anything like that, but actually going to the rescue and because they're usually foster based, and maybe seeing if someone will let me come into their house or and put me in the picture of it.
Love that.
And then the other thing is just literally focusing on dogs. I have a big SOI of people I've never met because of dogs and because of what I do, and I've never met them. I don't even know what they look like. And a few years ago, someone did call me, and this has happened like maybe once every couple of years, but someone did call me and they said, hey, I know you don't know me, but I feel like you're in the dog world, or you're in the real estate world the way I'm in the dog world. And I have like 10 Labrador retrievers here at my rescue. Would you come and sell my house for me in Strongsville? So I can help, you can help me purchase another house so I can grow this rescue.
So
Absolutely. I didn't even know who she was.
yeah.
You know, and I drove to her house. It was in North Burlington, I'm sorry. So then I drove to her house and worked and got it, you know, gave her all the ahas of what you need to do with your dog. And another thing is like, I think I've touched base with dogs, but I haven't dug deep with dogs. So I think just what I'm hearing with you is like, we need to go deeper in our of what is branding to us and what we live every day. I think we need to go deeper. I don't know. That's what I'm getting.
The 2 big things, I'll respond with that. Like I did the exact same thing. I sponsored a kennel at the Cleveland Rescue, and like I literally would go like once a month to check in on the kennel because I bought it. It was like $1,800 for the year. And it's the same thing when you go to a buyer's consult, go to a listing appointment, be like, by the way, I don't know if you're a fan of dogs. I'm a huge fan of dogs. With using me or using my services, like you're actually helping Rainbow. because we sponsor a kennel together. So you'll get like your name a part of the kennel, and people loved that. The second thing is what you said, the second part of like someone called you because you like dogs. What's really scary about that is people do know your brand, whether you know it or not. And like, if you don't currently know your brand, like what are you putting out in the world that we just don't realize, right? Like that is the scary part of that. It's great that it happened. And are there more people that aren't calling you because you don't know what your brand is? Like that is where my head goes to. So like the going deep and being intentional, of course it's super important, but like I always want to know. Like I know for a fact, and I'm not at this exact moment, but like when I was actively growing this business, I thought to myself, like, I want to know for a fact if they get on my Instagram or get on my Facebook, they know exactly what I'm about. That is so important. And it's more than just social media, right? Like it's more than just Facebook and Instagram. It's your resume for all future business. I don't care like what you do. I don't care where you sell. If you leave Keller Williams, your Facebook and your Instagram, we are in a client-facing business, a public-facing business. Those two things are your resume for future business, like 100%. So what does it look like, right? So I love the term own your own social media. Did anybody go to family reunion in 2020 in Dallas? Okay, loved my favorite family reunion year to date. The reason I loved it so much is Gary talked a lot about owning your business and owning your social media. And the reason he was talking about that is because now with things like AI, Realtor Crate, social media, like anything that you can purchase to do social media for you, what I've noticed, what he's noticed, what a lot of people smarter than me have noticed is like nobody owns their own anymore. It's like everybody's social media can look exactly the same because free services like and paid services and nothing is authentic. And he talked specifically in 2020 when there was a height of realtors getting in the business that it was more important than ever before to own your social media and own your brand. I would argue it's more important now than ever before with realtors leaving the business because real estate, if we haven't thought about it, is not really a fun thing for people to talk about right now. So like I would argue that right now, owning your own social media and business, telling a positive story about the industry that you're in is the single most important it's ever been. And if you are currently like using something like Realtor Crate or something to purchase graphics, just cancel it. Like one, let's save our money, let's leave with profit. And two, like if we cannot, that is not like a secret sauce for our business. Like this part of lead generation, branding and social media cannot be purchased. This isn't a Zillow lead. This is like who you are as a person, right? So I love the idea of owning your own social media, and that's what we're specifically going to talk about. Let's do someone from this table. Can someone read 1 through 5 for me?
Understand target audience, decide which platform is best, develop a content calendar, recognize when it's time to pivot, stay up to date with the trend.
Perfect. So everybody already knows what I mean by understand your target audience. We got that now. Deciding which platform is best. I always I will die on this hill. I personally believe that Facebook is the single best platform to convert real estate leads. I'm not saying it's the best platform to spend time on or that you enjoy. It's not my favorite to spend time on or enjoy, but in terms of lead generating and converting leads, Facebook is king. I personally believe it always will be. Developing a content calendar. So again, my target audience was most likely a first-time home buyer or a first-time investor client looking to purchase a home in Cleveland. So the content that I posted was relevant to them. It was not relevant to anybody else. That age group specifically loved new coffee places, new breweries, new restaurants in Cleveland, new walking places in Ohio City, places that they could go to the park in Tremont.
Do you think those people would go on Facebook though?
So I love that you brought that up. So I did everything on Instagram and on Facebook. I will say my captions were different. So my target audience all lived on Instagram, all of them. People my age lived on Instagram. So my caption would be worded a little differently to that target audience than when I posted the same content on Facebook. how I thought about it was like, okay, you know what? Like my first customer ever in the business was actually like my parents' best friend. I was like, okay, so they still have to know I sell real estate. But my caption of like slay new restaurant was very different than it was on Facebook, right? Like my Facebook caption would be like, what an amazing resource coming to the city of Cleveland. Instagram would be like, can't wait to like vibe here. Like it's very different, right? Yes.
So I agree with that too, because even on Facebook for me, you say like it just sold and all that, like more still photos are better on Facebook and on Instagram than more so like the real.
Love that.
The conversations are pretty.
It's just different.
absolutely totally different.
So content can be the same. Like that's where like I caution someone getting into this for the first time. Like don't overthink it. Don't be like, oh my God, like I only have 780 people on Instagram and like only 300 of them are my target audience. And Facebook, I have 1,300. Like, don't do that. Just like at first, just go with it. And then the great thing about social media is that it has analytics that we can view and look at after, like I recommend 90 days, but you can start as early as 30 days and you'll quickly realize when it's time to pivot based on the analytics that these platforms are handing you, which by the way, like, if you haven't thought about using analytics and social media for your business alone, based on the fact that this platform for free is telling you who goes to your page, you're crazy. Like this is a free resource to you as someone that's saying, Joe Jones has viewed your profile 25 times. Well, okay. If you know Joe Jones, that's not creepy, but if you don't, just like maybe block that person. But like it's crazy that you wouldn't utilize that as a pillar in your business. Recognizing when it's time to pivot. I kind of just said that. So my rule of thumb, I don't do anything and judge its outcome unless I do it for 90 days. That would be like me going to the gym, which I did twice last week. And I was like, I don't get why it's working or not working. Right. So like I do it in my other areas of life. And for this, for lead generation, if you came to me and say, Kate, like I cannot like believe that Bold Coach told me to call my database. I did it for 25 minutes today and nobody picked up. Like I'd be like, are you kidding me? So like same thing with social media. Like you have to do something for 90 days to see any kind of result. How long does it take to sell a house?
3 days.
Oh. Okay. 3 days. Okay. Usually I get 30 days. That's the answer I was looking for. So like it takes 30 days to sell a house, right? So like if you couldn't even get something under contract in the first 30 days, like how are you going to judge the lead generation source, right? Stay up to date on trends. Like this isn't as important as you think it is. It's honestly, it just makes your life easier. So if you're like, I literally do not understand what to post, staying up to date on trends just gives you an easy way out of like taking yourself maybe out of full content creator mode and just being like, all right, I'm going to plug in to see what other people are doing that works. And we're going to talk about that in a couple slides. Someone from this back table, can we read 6 through 10? Cool. Take advantage of video. Nobody wants to do it. I even don't want to do it. Holly has nailed it. Like video is the way of the future. People want to hear your voice. They want to see your face. They want to see you talk. They want to see you're a real person. Like there's a reason that companies like Apple, Dell, Coca-Cola, McDonald's have so many commercials on TV and on Hulu and on Spotify. Like there's a reason for it. Video is the only thing that's really going to convert at a super high level. And the analytics will help you understand if what you're posting is good. Posting a contest, giveaway, or event. I also will die on this hill. This was the easiest way for people to engage with my content. So a lot of the times when we're lead generating, I'm a big sports fan, as you all know. I like to think of this as like a defensive, like I'm playing defense. When I do number 7, I'm hosting a contest, I'll give away an event. People are coming to me. All I have to do is make sure that they don't run past me just for the giveaway. They need to meet me first. Other lead generation, I'm playing offense. I'm calling them. I'm going to them. I'm running at them. So number 7 was the easiest way to get people to come to me when I was just like, I'm a little bit burnt out of like constantly lead genning. Like I need like a reverse Bold 100. I need an easy way for 100 people to call me instead. That's the easiest way. And we'll talk about all these in depth. Collaborate with other businesses. I already touched on this. I'm huge on this. I truly, genuinely believe in my soul. You have to love where you're selling in order for you to be really good at it. Like, I don't know a single person that could come and be like, I hate Northeast Ohio. Do you want to buy some real estate? Like, that just doesn't work. So collaborating with other people in your community, I genuinely believe is so important. Take advantage of paid advertising when appropriate. I would like to say number 9 didn't come for me until I was 2 years into using social media as a lead generation tool. And then a call to action. Nothing that we do in this industry is even worth our time if there isn't a call to action at the end. Literally nothing. I understand brand recognition is important. So yes, we are going to post on our social media. Yes, we are going to like do fun things outside of like call me if you want to look buy or sell a house. And it doesn't always have to be call me if you're looking to buy or sell a house. It could be tell me your favorite restaurant in Cleveland. It could be if you were to buy a house today, what are the most important things you'd look for? It could be, do you like a bold colored front door? It could be, does the kitchen size matter? Like it doesn't always have to be call me if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. But there always should be a reason someone responds to your post. Always. Okay, so at this point, usually I have people being like, I just don't even know where to start. This is how I started. So I would literally spend 15 minutes once a week just going on Instagram, going on Facebook, and just typing in hashtags or search words like realtor, real estate, just find real estate marketing to find people that I really liked and then like take some of their ideas and implement it in my social media strategy. Erica Richmond, I think, is a perfect example of a realtor that does all of the right things. And she actually now coaches social media, which you do not need. Don't fall into the trap of that. And just go on her page and literally say, okay, there's a couple of things right away that I like to point out. The first is the name in the bio. Erica, real estate marketing, content creator. No surprise what she does, right? The actual bio, all things real estate, mentoring, home decor. We know what she likes to do. Content coach for realtors with Coffee with Contracts. Great. Tagged her other business. Join our community and decor links. There's a website you can look at. Look at that. And then underneath that's real estate marketing chat. Like if your bio doesn't look something similar to this, the easiest thing to do is tweak bio. So if you don't have a website for people to go look at listings, if you don't have a website for people to book a time for a buyer's consult or a listing appointment with you, we're not doing it right. If your bio doesn't say what you are about in a short little span, nobody's going to use you. The next thing I always like to point out is that her feed is somewhat cohesive. From a brand perspective, we know that she enjoys bright, airy colors. She's a little bit more of a feminine brand. She has her face. She has a baby. Like we can understand who she is based on the content that she's providing, right? The next person that I always really like to point out is Marie Lee. She's also a Nashville-based realtor. Again, helping you make the move to Nashville. I love that. I love that. For me, if I was interviewing Nashville-based realtors and that is what I saw helping you make the move to Nashville, I'd be like, oh my God, she's back. And I don't even know if she sells a lot of real estate. It's for me, it's like it's that little tagline that she has for her business. Like how powerful would it be if you were like helping you make Lakewood, Ohio the best place to live? I'd be like, all right, I love Lakewood, I guess. Like it's just those little things that make you more recognizable than other realtors. 60 plus families served since 2021. Freebies and consults. I don't know what the consult is for, but I'd probably click it because I like her page. Moving you to Tennessee. All good things. Again, her brand is pretty cohesive. We can tell she has her face in a lot. She has houses. She has how-to videos. She has, oh, is that an event? I'm going to click that flyer. Like her page has things where you're like, oh, I'd like to click on her posts. So I would, if I were you, I would spend some time before just being like, all right, I like dog sports gambling. Like, okay, love. And now let's do some research on like what that could look like for your business. Because here's the thing, you're not in competition with Marie Lee from Nashville. You're allowed to look at some of her content and be like, okay, I'm going to tweak that and make it my content for Brooke in Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, organic social media versus paid social media. I'm going to spend the majority of my time on organic because I did that for 2 years before I even touched paid. And then we're going to touch on paid, what that could look like if you're ready to take that step in your business today. So organic social media is only ever going to be one of 4 things that we're trying to do, right? So it's going to be value focused, brand awareness, engagement, and reach. The only things we care about with organic social media is these 4 things. So value focus, what you're posting, what you're putting out on your platform, what is the value of the post? And it doesn't have to be about real estate. We're going to get into what value focus looks like. Brand awareness is what you're posting, making it easier for a consumer to understand who you are as a business owner. The engagement. How many times is someone clicking on this, looking at this? Like and comment sometimes don't even matter, but how many people are seeing your post? And then the reach. How many times do we share this post? How many people do friends of my friends of their friends see my post? And then for paid, we're really focusing on promotion focused posts. We're thinking lead generation specific. We're thinking clicks and leads. So promotion focused. For paid advertising, we're thinking of things like I'm posting an event. I'm doing a free CMA. I'm doing a giveaway. I'm having people come to my open house. Like it's a call to action immediately out the gate. The lead generation portion is how many people are seeing this post that aren't my friends that I can add to my database. The clicks. How many times does someone click on this paid ad? Because I want to see my ROI on the $78 I spent on my Facebook ad. And then the leads. Of the 78 people that clicked on my Facebook ad, 12 of them interacted with me. I set appointments with 3 and I sold 1 house. Okay, organic. Bernsey, can you read the top?
Again, you want to educate, connect, entertain, and inspire.
Those are the only 4 things going on social media. Those are the only 4 things that we ever see on a daily basis is educating people, connecting people, entertaining people, and inspiring people. While we're doing those 4 things, we want to consider the value you're providing, your target audience and what they want to see, the platforms that you're using, and then the frequency of how often we do those 4 things. So educate. This is the most important part of social media to make you seem like an industry expert. We don't want to do this all the time, but if you want to be an industry expert, this is the most important thing you can do. Educate looks like explain videos. It's on hopping on a story and being like, have you ever wondered what the difference is between the appraisal and the home inspection? Because apparently people don't know that, right? Like we live in a world where we think everybody knows everything about real estate when really, realistically, nobody knows anything. Yeah.
I know it depends, but if you had to give an answer, if you're posting 7 days a week, how many of those are real estate?
That's a really good question. So I believe we get into that in the next slide. And this is going to be different per person. I personally post on my stories all 7 days of the week, no matter what, because I care about brand recognition and people remembering me. In terms of posting on my actual page, I'm
saying about real estate first.
I would do 3 to 5 posts a week, and I would make no more than 2 of them real estate. Yes, absolutely. So this could be, I'm doing an open house today. Have you ever wondered what it's like to walk through an open house? I'm doing a buyer consult today. Do you ever wonder what we cover in a consultation? Tips and tricks. Homeowners, it's spring. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to list your house in the spring? This is what the 10 things I'd recommend before listing your house. These are the 3 things I'd recommend before interviewing a list agent. Industry news. Everybody wanted to talk about NAR. Nobody knew what it meant. So you positioning yourself as the industry expert of consumer, this is amazing for you. This is actually a huge benefit to you as a consumer. Even if that was your personal belief or not, it's our job as industry experts to make people buy in to the thing that we're doing. Q&As. I loved this. And does anyone know why I loved Q&As? Because I could cheat. I could just answer, I could ask my own questions in the chat and nobody would know it was me. So if you're just getting started and you want to increase your engagement, cheat a little, it's fine. Michael Rapasky told me this one time, I'm going to butcher it, but he goes, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Yeah, and I was like, okay, that's fine. And it's so true. Like, so for a question and answer, it's like, has anyone, okay, Mike doesn't actually cheat. That was just, okay, don't tell him I said this is recorded. Something like that. Okay, so anyway, the question and answer is, I'd be like, has anybody ever wondered like what it's like to be a realtor? Like ask in the question box. I would literally just go in and ask my own questions. And so like you can create that engagement without having to actually rely on other people. You're not gonna have to do that forever because once you do it for 90 days and people realize like, oh my God, other people are doing this, people are gonna start doing it. There's a reason people interact with stories more than they do posts because they're embarrassed. They don't want to ask a question in a comment because they don't want to come off stupid to everybody else that's living in Facebook. But they'll slide in your DMs and be like, I've never sold a house. What does that mean? So there's a reason people do that versus a post. So be really intentional and smart about where you're asking questions. There's a reason if you've ever posted something on Facebook or Instagram and said like, if you're looking for a house, comment below, and no one comments. They don't want anybody else to know. Connect. This is where I personally believed I was the single best at ever. And it's funny, I had my first MAPS coach call today as the team leader here. And he was like, it's funny, you're telling me this story. And like, I only picture you as like a connector. And I was like, that's so honestly, like it warmed my heart. Cause I was like, that's actually all I do. Like I built a business on connecting people. That's all I do. So closing photos. And I do not like, I want a personal commitment from you all that you are going to stop if you are posting a closing photo that says just sold and not mentioning anything about the customer. Like nobody cares. Like in bold the other day, like there's a reason why Coca-Cola doesn't go on social media and say 7 million bottles sold today. You suckers. Like they're not like they don't want consumers don't want to know that. But there's a reason why Coca-Cola gets on and says like family of 4 got a bottle of Coca-Cola for pizza night and it connected all of them. Like there's a reason for that. So your closing photo should say, with your buyer's permission, right? Not everybody's gonna allow this. And with your buyer's permission, I'm gonna post a picture of Bernsey in front of the house. And I'm gonna say after 6 long months and 3 months of trying to get pre-approved, we not only found the perfect lender, we found the perfect loan program, and we finally found the perfect house. We wrote 3 offers and none of them worked out. And it all was a blessing in disguise because the 4th house is where he's going to spend his forever. Okay. Like you're going to tell a story about the customer, not about you, the customer.
Actually,
Yes.
Bernsey did that. I saw it on Facebook today.
Oh my gosh, it's like he's like a pro.
And I'm gonna steal a line from what he posted because I thought it was perfect.
Yay! What was the line?
It said, something about helping build the life for your loved ones.
I love that. I love that. That was the condo that they built.
Sounds just like my AI assistant.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
I'm stealing the line.
Yeah. So community involvement. Again, I personally believe you cannot have a successful business if you don't care about other people, especially in the community that you're serving. This doesn't have to be like anything crazy by any means, but the community involvement that I often would post about is the development of Cleveland. Like I came back from college and I was genuinely blown away of like, I could not believe I hated where I came from before I went to college and then came back and it was so freaking cool. I was like, there's literally new parks every day, new restaurants every day, new businesses opening every day. All of a sudden, like young professionals are moving here. There's the Sherwin-Williams building going in, like all of these things. Like I talked about the development of Cleveland. The east side of the flats was weird back in the day. And like all of a sudden, like the east side is incredible again. Like talking about community involvement, who's doing it, who's building it, who's purchasing the land, like what does that mean for a consumer? Why is it important that the city of Cleveland wants to increase our walkability score? Those are the things that you should be talking about. Team shout outs. If you don't have a team, it's a really good thing you have a giant leadership team. You can do anything from a behind the scenes of like, thank you, Carrie, for putting together like the notes in front of our, like it really is the little things like that people care about. And people want to buy into a business that's not just about you. Like they want to buy into something bigger than just you. And then market center behind the scenes. Like if it were me, I'd wake up on a Sunday or a Monday and I'd say, okay, there's going to be 2 times I'm actually doing something real estate related this week. One is my sales meeting and one is an open house that I'm doing. Those are going to be the 2 real estate posts that I post this week. So the first picture that I might take is like me and Bernsey doing a selfie at the sales meeting. And it's going to be like iron sharpens iron, learning from the best in the industry, right? And then the next is going to be like, I'm at an open house. And we'll talk about how to market an open house at another time, but like, you know how that goes. Entertain. This is the part where you're probably going to get the most engagement on your post because it's the funnest, right? It's the most fun. The nostalgia. I talk about this example all the time because it's by far my favorite real estate trend I've ever seen. When I first got in the industry, there was, and I think it was like a couple years ago too, it like pops back up. people were posting their first headshot ever to their headshot now, and it was just super cute and funny, right? Like, so some nostalgia posts, memes, like obviously you all know what a meme is, like any kind of like the meme I got like the weirdest amount of engagement on was just like this little, what's that movie where she does this?
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. It was a Hunger Games meme, and it just said like having a toddler at preschool is like the Hunger Game with germs, and like it's funny. Like it's like entertain people laugh, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, so cute." Giveaways and contests. Like this is something I would do once a quarter, and it never had to be out of your own money, right? Like thank God we have some partners here, right? Like a title company and 2 mortgage companies and a home warranty company, and you have home inspectors. They all want you to sell more real estate because that means they do more business. So if anytime you go to a partner and say like, I want to do this, how can you help me? They'll help you. It's great. Pets. Like I said, talked about my dog all the time. For the longest time before I joined a team and I was a solo agent, I would tell people that I had a business partner. It was my dog. And literally he wore a bandana that said KW and then sold. It was so cute. And I would take him to showings. Like I would literally keep him in the car, air conditioning on, of course. And now I have the Tesla with the dog mode. It's great. And so he would literally sit in the front seat and just like wiggle. And people would be like, oh, that's so cute. I love it. So like involve your pets. Now I have a baby, or a child, a grown kid. She's like 25, 4, but like she like is now replaced my pet post and people love it. Inspire. This is also like a funny thing. I always feel bad saying it because I'm like, I hope it's not someone in the audience. But like, have you ever opened your Facebook and you're like, oh my gosh, it's Mark again, and he is like motivational quote of the day, and it's like Monday, get after it, and then it's like Tuesday, like coffee and contracts, and it's just like constantly day after day, just like nonsensical like motivation. You're like, do you even sell real estate? So don't do that. Like, don't get what?
That's one thing you do that's wrong.
You do that?
No.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, I was like, I knew there was gonna be a person in here.
All right.
So like a time and a place for sure. Like I always like I would drop in, like I just did one on International Women's Day. It said like, to all the doors that close behind me, I'm coming back to buy the building. I love it. It resonated with me and my brand, and I really am coming back to buy the building. So like it was like I'm actually doing that. Like every once in a while it's appropriate to post like a quote or a song lyric, or on a holiday do something. There's a time and a place. Aspirational homes. This was honestly one of my favorite ways to get people to engage in a real estate way without them realizing it was real estatey. So like I would once in a blue moon be like, this is the most expensive house in our MLS right now. Like comment what your favorite and like worst thing about this house is. And people would love it because they'd be like, oh my gosh, for $9 million, they could have done the floor. Like it just, yeah. And it's like, okay, great. Comment more. Like, I love it. Client testimonials, testament. Okay. Carrie did not do this. I did this. Next time Carrie will be doing my slides for me. But client testimonials, like again, same thing as like, I'm not posting a sold to sold. I'm like posting like a customer that gave me a really good review, which we're going to talk about. Realtor success stories. I think it's really cool, right? Like I had I would preface some of these posts with like, I never really like to talk about the amount of real estate that I do because all I really care about is helping families. And with that being said, I was able to help 58 families last year. I'm really proud of it, et cetera, et cetera. Leadership advice. It's like the same thing as those quotes, right? It's like, don't overdo that part. Engagement. All of this to be said, if you do this every single day and you don't engage, none of it is worth it. Like, right? Like if you post the single best post of all time and the president of the United States comments on it, none of it matters unless you comment back and do it at a high level consistently. So responding to messages, creating proactive engagement. People don't realize they can kind of create their own engagement on a post. I do it all the time. So like I'll post something and it'll be about okay, my favorite food is Mediterranean food. And I just got the recommendation the other day to try brassica from Lindsay. So if I went to brassica, I would probably take a picture and post it. And then in the comment, I would go to my own comments, tag Lindsay and be like, thank you so much for the referral or recommendation. It's 10 out of 10. And then all of a sudden Lindsay's going to see it. She's going to like it. All of a sudden Lindsay's friends are going to see it because she commented on it. And all of a sudden people are going to like and comment more because there's already active engagement on the post. Hashtag research and keyword research is super important. I see not a ton of back in the day, the olden days, people would post like 28 hashtags on one single photo. I don't see that too often anymore. But keywords are super important and hashtags are still relevant, especially in Facebook and Instagram. And just doing your research, like I made the joke earlier, like a lot of people will just do like hashtag sold. But if you click on a hashtag, I don't think what people know what hashtags are for. It's supposed to be so you can click on it and get relevant other posts. So if you click on the sold, it's like a motorcycle that was sold down the street. It's used cars, it's eggs from your local farmer. Like it has nothing to do with you or your brand. So like making sure what you're posting is appropriate to your actual post. Planning. This is everyone, like literally everyone's favorite slide of the whole presentation. And the reason why is because the 5x5, that first bullet point, is the single thing that took me from doing zero real estate and making zero money to doing 13 million. This single thing. So I called it the 5x5, and I would literally like habitually, I would do it before I even got out of bed and brushed my teeth. So like you decide what it's best for you to do it throughout the day. And if you're like, oh, I can't do 7 days a week of this, like commit to your amount. Like it's the same thing as like going to the gym. Like everybody's like, I'm gonna go to the gym 7 days a week. And then they're like, whoa, maybe once. So like commit to your number and just do it consistently, because you can't judge the result unless you do the same thing every single day. So the 5x5, I did it on Facebook and Instagram. I would get up every single morning and I would add 5 friends. But what I would not do is go to other realtors pages and add their 5 friends that are already doing it. So what I would do is go to, my kids' teachers page. I'd add 5 of our mutual friends, because it's weird. You have them. I'd go to my dentist, 5 mutual friends, go to my soccer coach's page, 5 mutual friends. I'd go to my girlfriends that we have drinks with every Thursday. I'd 5 other mutual friends every day, 5 friends. The next thing you're going to do is 5 happy birthdays. But again, what you're not going to do is like go on their page and be like HBD, balloon emoji, like nothing of value. Like the purpose of doing it is to make them stop scrolling. Or in a perfect world, you'd get on Facebook and see it's Lindsay's birthday and you text her or call her, because we're like human beings. But if you're like just starting, do it on the Facebook and say something of value. Lindsay, it's going to be your best year ever. I literally cannot wait to see how you and your family grow this year. I'm so happy for you. Blah, blah, blah. So you know what to say, right? The third thing you're going to do is engage with 5 posts. Hopefully not like the negative one, like that angry face, like not really the point of the lead gen here. You're going to want to like heart it or care about it or thumbs up it, 5 posts. And then you're going to go to 5 different posts and make comments. Again, you're not going to be like fire emoji is like the only comment. You're going to say something of value. It's going to be like, Morgan went to book club and wore the amazing leather jacket. I'm gonna be like, dude, I've been looking for a leather jacket for forever. Where did you get this? Where did you wear it to? Tell me everything. Like you're gonna actually create engagement in their post. And then the 5th thing, which everyone is the most uncomfortable about, is you're gonna send 5 direct messages. And I promise you, this is the catalyst. What is that? Like, what did we build in physics class that threw that pumpkin? A catapult? Is that what that's called? Catapult. This is what a trebuchet. Thank you. This is like the direct message is your trebuchet to selling more houses. I promise you. And I would actually say if you all do this I wouldn't even say 90 days. If you do this for 30 days and you don't get a result, come to me and I will personally like take you out to dinner to say, I'm sorry for teaching you BS. Like, cause I am that confident it will trebuchet your pumpkin business. So the direct message is something, intentional, right? We're not just going to be like, hey girls, if you've never talked, it's gonna be real weird. And it's definitely not going to be something like, did you know I was in real estate and I've been in real estate for 10 years and I sell houses? Not doing that either. Like what we're going to do is like go research their page. Like if it were me, I'm going to go to Carrie's page. I'm going to be like, oh my God, she was just in Columbus. She has a boyfriend that lives in Columbus. My first thing that I'm going to say to Carrie is like, hey, I know this is so crazy, so random. Sorry about that. And like, can you just really quick when you have free time, like tell me what you love about Columbus? I have customers or I have clients that are sometimes relocating and I'm putting together some marketing of things that they might like to do there or 5 great things that they should see in Columbus if they're going to look at houses. Do you know how quickly Carrie would be like, I love X, Y, and Z about Columbus? Like relate it to her and that's it. The goal obviously is to get Carrie in my database. That's now someone that I'm going to drip to 36 times a year. I'm going to be like, Carrie, thanks again for this Columbus recommendation. Someone just told me that they loved it. They don't have to tell you that they love it. Just make her feel nice. Like, or if you go, Carrie, thank you so much for the referral. I am obsessed with like what Fox in the Snow is at a coffee place in Columbus. I love that place. Like so good. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go to Polly's page and I'm gonna see that she was at our house. I'm gonna be like, this is so crazy, but do you have a contact at our house that you go to? Because I noticed that like all of the pictures you post, you have the best furniture, and I really want a referral for people who are moving into the area purchasing furniture for their house. So easy. I'm gonna go to Jake's page and I'm gonna see that he built a pool 2 years ago and be like, hey, this is like kind of weird. Who did you use for that? Because I have customers that are purchasing homes and they're really looking for something with a pool. And as you know, inventory is so low. We're just buying houses and then putting the pool in. Like, tell me the good, the bad, and the ugly of that experience and how did it work for you? Like, be intentional about it. You're gonna have to stalk a little, which is, I think, okay in this instance. And like, you're gonna be intentional about it. Obviously, if they're a normal person, they're gonna be like, by the way, like, how are you? And if they don't on the first time, that's okay because you now have an in to keep talking to that person. So eventually that person's gonna be like, by the way, how are you? Or what are you up to? Or, oh my God, what customers? I didn't know you were in real estate. That's gonna be a dagger because I guarantee half of them are gonna say that. They did it to me. And I'm gonna be like, it's amazing. Do you know anybody that's looking to buy, sell, or invest for real estate? But do it in your own way, not in like, do you know anybody? That is the most important thing that I did in my business that literally went from like 0 to 100. And so if your business is not buying or selling real estate, if your business is growing your team, it's the exact same thing. If your business is attracting talent to the market center, it's the exact same thing. The one goal with this is not to sell a house. The one goal with this is to add them to your database. We're going to do a quick little exercise. I think I already did this with some people in the room. It's so funny because people love this one. So on the count of 3, I want you to shout a toothpaste brand. 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay.
I only ever hear Colgate and Crest, and then like literally 10 seconds later, people will be like, I don't even use those. They'll be like, I use Tom's or like some black toothpaste, like that charcoal toothpaste. And I'm like, see? So the reason we do that exercise is scientifically, data proves in your brain, when it comes to one topic, your brain only has space for 2 things. And are you going to be one of the 2 realtors that people think about when they think about selling real estate? And the only reason or only way you can do that for sure is by talking to them. So like the one thing, you're not trying to sell that person a house today. I'm not sliding in Carrie's DMs about Columbus because I think she's going to buy a house tomorrow. I'm sliding in Carrie's DMs because I want her eventually, when she's talking to her friends, to be like, you know what? Kate is cool and she could sell your house. That's it. So weekly planning, I did it on a weekly level just because I am a super, super, super high D and I fly by the seat of my pants and I never know what's going on. So I'd be like, okay, these are the 3 things I'm doing this week that I can post about for real estate. So I'd get up on Sunday or Monday, like I said, and be like, these are the 3 things I'm going to post about. If you want to do it at a super high level, do it monthly. January comes around, people start thinking about their tax refund and buying like a purse. I'm thinking about using the tax refund as a down payment. So like, that's what I'm going to talk about in the month of January and February. Where to post, super important. We already covered all that. Canva, Pinterest, design apps, a day in the life. We already talked about like the ways you can create content. The easiest way to do it, if you don't know where to start, go to someone else's Instagram and see what they're doing and then call Tori. We make it pretty easy. Reviews and retention. Bernsey, read that sentence.
80% of buyers purchase their home last 24 months.
Can anyone guess what the end of the sentence is? This is a statistic from 2022. It's from NAR. 80% of buyers who did not use their agent. Is that what you said? Any other guesses? Do not remember the realtor's name. What does that tell you? For me, it's not, we're not following up. I love that answer. The more painful answer is that we literally didn't do our job. Like it's like hard to hear and like, there's a bunch of telling. There's a bunch of telling items from this statistic. And for me, there's a big opportunity in reviews, right? So here's how I ask for reviews. The important thing to ask for or think about when we're talking about reviews is, are we asking for them? How many places are they leaving them? Quality, quantity, recency. So if I get on your Zillow or your realtor.com or your Google or your Facebook, is your last 5-star review from 2013? So I'm not going to call. Like, I'm just not. Like, I don't know about you, but like before I order food or go to a coffee shop, because those are my love languages, I'm looking at the menu and I'm looking at the reviews. I'm looking at things like I'm looking at their Instagram. If I have been told like, oh, you have to try Mario's, and I go and I can't find Mario's on Facebook, I can't find them on Instagram. They have never posted anything. They have no reviews, and their hours are not posted. I'm not going. Like I'm just not. So for you as a business owner, what does that look like? Like, what does that look like for your business? The reason reviews are so important, by the way, is not just because we want a review. We don't care that people are telling us we're great. We're caring about a review because our SEO search goes up greatly if other people are talking about us. Like naturally, when I type in best food in Cleveland, Ohio, it's not because they're the best. It's because the most people are talking about that one place. That's the same thing for your business. To help retention. So for me, I would send out 30, 60, and 90-day cards, and I would call them on day 30, 60, and 90. Holly, can you believe that we don't spend every day together looking at houses anymore? Are you so glad that you don't have to see me? Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, great. So that's hopefully how it goes. And if it was a painful client, maybe don't call them. And then 60 days, I'd say, Holly, you told me you were going to be painting the kitchen cabinets. Did you find anybody yet? Because I really wanted to send a referral if you haven't. Day 90, I'm gonna be like, it's so weird. I just passed your neighborhood because I'm going to show a different house and I miss you. How is everything going? We're humans, remember, like this is a human-based business. So talk to them. It helps with retention. If they forgot to leave you a review at the end of that call, you're always gonna be like, by the way, I know this is so annoying. Do you mind writing me that review? I'm gonna send it over right now. There's something else I wanted to talk about with reviews, but oh, this is what. So what I don't want you to do when you're going to ask for reviews is the day of closing comes, you're going to hand Brinzy the keys. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, it was so nice working with you. Don't forget to review me on Facebook. Like what? Like that's not what you want to do. Like the closing day is all about them. Like make it the best closing day for them ever. It's all about them. All about them. Like whatever that looks like for you. If you take a gift, if you put a bow on the front of the house, if you go to the signing table and bring a bottle of wine, whatever you do, you should be going to your closings if you want to increase your business. If you want to be referral based, if you want to be SOI based, you should go to your closings if at all possible. And if not, you should still go the next day or something, see them in person and thank them. And then after that, I would think to myself, okay, when is the peak part of excitement?